Hi lovelies, welcome to the Doghouse with me, Ria Bow, and he's Mike Phillip of American Hook Radio, kjjradio.com and Tactical Health. This is the Doghouse, right, and we're in it. How are you doing, Mike?
Well, I'm still reeling from all those nasty messages you sent me. You really hurt my feeling, Ria.
Oh, you should have seen it, guys. It was awful. So I wanted to talk about QAnon. And he's off down the booze shop, right? I'm on video on his phone following him into this booze shop in his local place. And
it was...
I said I want to talk about QAnon. No, he said I've been talking about it for 2 hours the other day. And... I said, wait a minute, when I brought it up, you didn't want to speak about it. And I just got this message back saying, I'm complicated. I was like, shut up. Do you know what I mean? I said, I just don't even go. Are you really that complicated, Mr. Phillip? I don't think so.
I'm so complicated, I don't even get myself, okay? That's how complicated I am. But, I have learned that if a woman is excessively mad at you, it means that they like you. So, Ria, I get it. I totally get it. I stirred and elicited an emotional response from you. So, we're just going to have to deal with it from here on. And by the way, everybody, Ria and I have the exact same birthday. What are the chances that we would have the exact same birthday? And, Ria, my mom says happy birthday to you and happy new year.
Oh, that's lovely. Happy birthday, Mike. I'm and thank you for my birthday wishes. And I want to say hi to Gary Kemper. Hi, and Calvin H. Cal Cubes. Cool name. Phoebe. Hi, Phoebe. Thank you for being there today. And thank you for being there the other day and helping me out when Sick Note wasn't around and all that kind of stuff. Oh, I've sort of got a freezy camera a bit. That's not very good, is it? I don't know what that's about. But hey, it's live. What do you do? I shall just manage with what we've got. It's very weird, though.
Just deal with it.
I am just dealing with it. So, okay, so we've got let's do a bit of weather before we carry on. But did you get suitably boozed, Mike?
I did. I had a few drinks, and my brother and my two sons stopped by, and my good friend Craig, and it was a great evening. So you mentioned last show I wasn't able to attend or be present, but I was listening. I had it on in the background. I didn't catch all of it, but you were saying you were getting some really great comments over on Facebook, and that you wanted to wait until I was on. So. Let's talk about that, Ria. What are some of the great messages you're getting on Facebook?
Where are some of the messages? God, I haven't prepared for this. That's another thing, guys. When Mike and I go on here, we have no clue what's going to happen. No clue. There's no pre-prep. None of it. Do you know what I mean?
Nope.
So let me find out where I've got a couple of them. So they're kind of... one of them said, hello, you come into Malaysia, visit. You hotel, eat, visit shopping, I am arrange, 1 gold ring you gift, really I am, I can't even, I am, do you know what I mean? What date my business you check, 15 days coming, all money I arrange, you stay 15 days, right? And there was some really quite outrageous ones, about they know I want their babies, right? So they kind of know this.
Well, you kind of give that off, you know.
I know. Oh, my camera's froze. Oh no, in a really bad position. What can I do about that? I can do this about that. Right, okay. So I'm off the screen at the minute. Let's see if it's come back on. Oh no, my camera's gone really badly wrong. And that was just a couple. So it was absolutely hilarious that it went like that, but it was a real eye-opener, I've got to say. I'm just going to whip down the weather and hopefully my camera comes back to life, because I certainly can't leave it like that, that's for sure. Let me just do another quick check again. Oh, it's gone really badly wrong. I'm waving my arms and everything, and now it's stuck in a really bad place. I don't know really what to do about that. It's just get on with it, isn't it? I'll throw it over to Mike. Right,
you look fine, Ria. You look fine.
Yeah, great. Okay, so here we go. Weather. Alberta, -8. Toronto, -18. England +5, Nice, south of France +13, Malaga +18, Camrose -11, positively tropical, Cairo +17, Rio de Janeiro +28, Rome +14, Cape Town +22, Moscow -1, Seoul -6, Mumbai 26, Tokyo +1, Sydney +21, Oslo -3. So we might have to just manage with what we've got today, guys. Justin Trudeau, good morning everyone. Hi Jack, IKH, thank you for the birthday wishes, and Calvin, cat cubes, by the way. Okay, cat cubes. I'll take your note on that. So right, so moving on. Let's just get the accent together and see what we've got for an accent, guys. What do you make of this accent? Where is he from?
I call that a buggy. Some people may call it a shopping cart, but very few around here do. It's a buggy. The people that normally call it a shopping cart are from off somewhere. They ain't from here originally. But I'm gonna go on ahead and post this on there now, and I hope y'all give me your feedback on well, I guess on my accent.
So where's he from, guys? Where do you think he's from? Just drop it in the chat.
Jane Gruber. Jane Gruber's over at Facebook, and she says Kentucky.
Oh, let me write it down. Hold it a second.
Write it down. You can just write Kentuck.
Kentuck. Okay.
Kentuck.
So we got Kentuck. There's one.
You know what they do on Halloween in Kentucky, Rhea?
Nope.
Pumpkin.
Ken or kin.
Right.
As in
so,
kinfolk.
Justin Trudeau cringe channel, and he's naked, ladies. Careful, you're going to get an offer of a ring and a free trip to Malaysia. He says East Texas for sure.
Right, okay, we got an East Texas for sure. East.
Eric Young says Oklahoma. That's what I'm saying. That guy sounds like an Okie to me.
Oklahoma. It's what a great accent though, right, guys? I heard it and went, I like that a lot.
Kay Heraldo wants to hear it again.
Right, okay. Don't be pushy. Do you know what I mean?
I'm
Step
not.
at a time. Not you.
It gets her all turned on, that's all. You gotta play it again.
Oh, well, if that's the case, then here it comes again then.
I call that a buggy. Some people may call it a shopping cart, but very few around here do. It's a buggy. The people that normally call it a shopping cart are from off somewhere. They ain't from here originally. But I'm gonna go on ahead and post this on there now, and I hope y'all give me your feedback on well, I guess on my accent.
There you go, guys. And so far we've got Kentuck, East Texas, and Oklahoma. I love the accent. I think just what a lovely, lovely accent. So I love that. I love those really strong accents. I've always liked accents. Right, Mr. Man, you've been suitably boozed. You've had a great birthday, spent some good time. Will you at least do us the honour of, hi Jack, at least do us the honour of giving us QAnon in a nutshell and bringing us up to date. What's going on?
You froze for a second there. What was that?
Could you give us an update on what's going on with QAnon and keeping us up to date? What's going on there?
Yeah, okay, so we had April Lejeune on Kevin's show on Wednesday night, and it was fascinating stuff. I actually had, I'd been kind of semi-following her work, and I really liked it. And then a beautiful young lady named Tina Riddell sent me a link to one of her videos, and I thought, you know what, there's so many people wanting to hear about Q, and I've been kind of avoiding it. So let's get this lady on to talk about it. Now, I'm not an expert on the subject, okay? And here's how I feel about the whole QAnon or Q clearance thing. It started out on a message board on 4chan, moved to 8chan, and there is no way to verify any of the information that's coming forward unless, of course, it happens as Q has stated that it would. Now, none of us has a crystal ball, but I gotta say, the whole QAnon thing has got me excited. It really does. I hope that this is true. Now, the story is that this is an individual who is high up within the Department of Energy, and they have what is called Q clearance, which is level 3 national security clearance. So they can actually view material that anybody at the Pentagon can, or indeed the executive branch. So this is really interesting stuff. Now, it started out with me. I actually did an interview with a guy named Chad Alexander. He was calling in from Belgrade, Serbia, to my syndicated radio show, American Hawk Radio. And here's the deal. Q basically said that President Trump did not just ad hoc decide one day to run from the presidency. The story is that he was approached by members of the intelligence community and the military, specifically the Marine Corps, who were really upset at the destruction of America and its economy and culture by a bunch of globalist, Marxist rats, a.k.a. the Bushes, Obamas, the Clintons, specifically Hillary. And so he was approached to run in order to take down what is being known now as the deep state. So Donald John Trump is acting not on his own, but as a face for this counter coup running against elements, rogue elements within the intelligence, military, and government of the United States of America. So, first of all, let me just say, if I'm a little bit incoherent in the timeline, it's because, like I said, I'm not an expert on the subject. But basically, everything is a big play with Trump. And like I said, he's got the backing of the military, and he's got the backing of the intelligence services, factions of them anyways. Specifically, this election for the Senate seat in Alabama with Roy Moore. Trump did not back Roy Moore. He backed Luther Strange, or Lex Luthor, as I like to call him. Okay. But Roy Moore lost that election. And it is said that there was heavy fraud and illegal activities in that election. You had people bust in from other states connected to the Clinton Foundation that were illegally voting on that Senate seat. Q came out and said before the election was lost, Q came out and said the Alabama election will be lost by Roy Moore, but don't worry, we're watching this and allowing it to happen in order to track the fraud, because the Democrats will predictably do it as they have done in the past, and we're going to be watching. Roy Moore did lose that election. Q was correct on that prediction. Also, these misdirected flights going on in the United States with the transponders turned off and the power going out at the Atlanta International Airport, it was reported that it was an accident. Well, the fact of the matter is airports have backup generators and do not lose power. But it did happen in Alabama. According to Q, this was an extraction operation of a big fish target. It is highly speculated that a member of the Rothschild family has been taken in by the Marine Corps and is squealing like a stuck pig. No. Now, like I said, there's no way to verify this at this time because it's not being made public unless, here's what could be happening. This whole Q clearance thing is actually members within the Trump administration releasing information in this way in the form of question and answer, because they know that it will be more widely accepted by the public than anybody in the mainstream media at this point. Rhea, what are your thoughts?
Ooh, that's a tough one, really. Without the kind of backup and stuff like that. I mean, I know it's had a ton of attention. I mean, that's why I picked... It was just heating up when I got that ex-Marines. I give the ex-Marine guy shout out, didn't I? And he was like... He's an ex-Marine, right? He
Yeah.
was talking about it. I wanted to know more. I've not really got genned up on it because I've been quite busy doing other stuff like that. So that's a great update. I'd love to see how it pans out because the Roy Moore thing is just hot right now, isn't it? It's everywhere. Everywhere I look, I see it. And just fingers crossed that the Dems do what they usually do. And one thing I'll be really intrigued with, is it just a media blackout, mainstream media blackout your end, Mike, where they're just not talking about it?
Well, it's either a blackout on behalf of the media not reporting it, or it's a blackout in the way that they're not being told. And now you've got this book coming out, Fire and Fury, which Steve Bannon is quoted as saying that Trump and his family were a bunch of criminals and treasonous. Trump has lashed back out at Bannon. And there are a lot of people that speculate that in itself is a big head fake by Trump and Bannon working together. And a lot of other people think that Bannon is just a sleazebag and being exposed for the double agent that he always was. But there's some very interesting things going on with this administration. The dropping of the biggest tax cut in the United States, well, in decades in the United States of America, is resulting in the NASDAQ going higher than it ever has in its history already. You've got I love it. I love what he's doing. At the same time, you've got Canada slowly turning into a very friendly maple syrup-drenched version of North Korea. Taxes are going through the roof. Carbon taxes, small business taxes. The Canada Revenue Agency has just hired thousands of extra workers to take things away from people in the form of repossessions because they're not going to be able to meet these taxes. But at the same time, we've got to give foreign aid. We've got money for the Clinton Foundation. We've got money to build a road in Jordan because Canadians won't be safe unless there's a road built in the Middle East that we have no idea what it's going to cost. So people are angry, and I stand by my previous prediction that people are going to see what's happening in the United States and Canada, and it's going to lead to a revolt because we're going to want what they have. Surfer 4 says, didn't make sense to me with Bannon. You know what, Surfer? I think that Bannon thought he was more important than he was.
Yeah.
Pardon me, and was angry that he got kicked out of the White House. And I think that's really what it comes down to is good old-fashioned ego. I mean, these are all people that are subject to pride, greed, hatred, all these human emotions that we all have. And it's no different with Bannon, and he just ended up thinking that he had a lot more to do with the Trump election than he did, and now he's bitter and stewing. Also, he's gone to this Chinese double agent that's holed up in New York City, who is actually ordered to be reported by Donald Trump himself to the Chinese, and he's gone slithering to him for funding. So Bannon is kind of looking like a snake in all this. Unless, like I said further, this is just another classic Trump head fake. Everybody look at the squirrel while they're doing something else over here.
Totally. No, I'm getting the picture. Let me just make that. What have we got here? KH says, Surfer agree. Let's wait for this one to play out, basically. Sloppy Steve tweeted today, which seems... Because Alex Jones had a meltdown about it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He was freaking out.
He was freaking out. He went to lunch on this one. But was there treason? That's it, isn't it? We don't really know what's really going on. There's a lot of ifs and buts and all that kind of stuff. But my God, it's hot right now. You get near that, you're going to get burnt. I'm with Surfer 4 and KH and the general view. Let's just wait this out a second and see how it plays out. Because there's also I spoke to someone yesterday, there's book sales going on, there's all sorts, and the magician's hand is saying, look over here, isn't it? And maybe we should be looking in other places. So I'm for let's see this play out and see what happens, because it's so hot, it's so everywhere. It's I'd sooner play that card. Right, have you got anything on your mind before we move on from that one, or should I go on?
Yeah, actually, I got a couple of text messages here from Huge ass.
Hey, Hugh.
Huge ass. He says, happy belated birthday to both of you. There you go, Rhea. That's from you.
Thank you.
And he says, I sent an email to YouTube about not being able to join the live chat. No answer. Are you serious, Hugh? YouTube is ignoring you. Join the club. Me too.
Yeah, same.
Hugh went on to say, Alex feels like he was played by Bannon. Yeah. Another guy here, Scott. Scott is actually my good friend in Camrose. And we like to see who can stay out in the cold longest and things like that. It's a good relationship we have.
Licking
He
stamps.
says, everything's good now. I just got a $75 carbon tax credit. What a joke. Yeah.
Does
The Alberta government, they put in these carbon taxes and then they turned around and said, we're giving it all back in the form of tax credits. Well, why take it in the first place, you idiots?
yeah.
Go on, Rhea.
The carbon tax makes me really cross. It's the two things that make me really cross. One is carbon tax, and the other one is going cashless. And obviously, there's three things: technocracy, which I've got a bit leading on. We've got some coming in. The guy that wrote the Trump book was never authorized to write it. Numerous people are coming forward with complaints about it. Yeah, I've seen him on there. It's been all over. That guy and this, he said that Trump's like a child, didn't he? That is all over English media. All over English media.
Oh, yeah. It's all over Canadian media, too. They're just pounding it to death. I was able to not throw up all over myself and listen to CNN for about 20 minutes this morning, and they are just pounding this new book. Now, here, think about this, okay? The book says, unequivocally, that Trump did not want to win the election, okay? Never wanted to. And when he did, they were shocked, and they actually had a illustration in the New Yorker of the Trump camp after they found out that they won. And Melania was crying. Oh, no, I'm the First Lady of the United States of America now. What a terrible thing. And Trump was like, oh, what am I going to do now? I won the election. Let me say this, liberals. So Trump colluded with the Russians to steal the election, but he never planned to win it. You can't have it both ways.
Totally. That's one of those things that I said before as well. You just got to let them talk, haven't you? And if you let people enough real estate out there, you're going to find the holes sooner or later. And this thing is riddled with holes. We just need that point of solution to create that kind of change. We've just had a message in from Jack. One from KH. Wolf is known as a rubbish writer. I don't know anything about him. I've just heard him for the first time on English media, and it is everywhere. It's on every channel. And Surfer Force says something is playing out globally. Bang on. I'm right on your wavelength, Surfer 4. Straight out.
Let me comment on that. Rhea. Surfer 4 says something is playing out globally. Donald Trump on December 21st issued an executive order.
I know.
And in that executive order, they are seizing the assets and property of anybody, not just in the continental United States of America, but anybody worldwide that is involved in child trafficking or human rights abuses. And he actually, at the bottom of the executive order in the annex, named about 12 individuals from 12 different countries. We're talking Sweden, Sri Lanka, Central America, all over the world. So it's been known that the Clinton Foundation had ties to trafficking young girls in Haiti when they were working over there. And it's largely seen as though this new executive order of the Trump team is to bring down the Clinton Foundation, the Royal Crown, the Canadian government, anybody that's been involved in these operations, which has been proven that they have several times over. I've conducted many interviews over on American Rock Radio about this issue, and indeed, that is happening. So there was also a report that, do you remember Solyndra? Solyndra, this solar company in the United States of America, that they were given $2 billion by the Obama administration, and then they went bankrupt, buy $2 billion. Yeah, we went bankrupt. We had $2 billion, but So it turns out that they owned a house over in Thailand, which was tied to Obama. The Delta Force raided the house recently and found a large cache of weapons that were Chinese-made and large amounts of money and a network of tunnels underneath the house. So they're going after Obama, his assets, this Solyndra slush fund, and their dirty dealings around the planet. They're going to bring you down. Also, it's said in the QAnon posts that there are 10,000 sealed indictments ready to go. They are going to charge these people, and they're going to send them to Guantanamo Bay. Now, here's the beautiful part about this, Rhea. Donald Trump would not be able to do all of this if previous administrations and these New World Order globalist types had not gone ahead and cornered so much power in the executive branch. You see, they expected for Hillary Clinton to win. China expected Hillary Clinton to win. The EU, the Democrats, the GOP, they all expected that Hillary was going to win. And indeed she would have if there wasn't help for Donald Trump with these intelligence people that QAnon is talking about. So what they did was they put in the Patriot Act right after 9/11, which gave the presidency sweeping powers. But it turns out that when they did that, they were building their own gallows. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I'm kind of behind it as well. I'll just take some comments here. What else have we got? I'll take yours in a minute, Jax. It's off topic. Once they got him to commit, he was all in. He's the master of deals and never quits. That was KH. One from Justin. Friggin' right, give him the chair, Donald. I love that. I absolutely love that. One from Surf of Thought. I thought that was cool with Obama. I'm not really sure about that one, Mike. What do you think about that, Surf of Thought? I thought that was cool with Obama.
I think he's talking about that Solyndra house deal in Thailand, I think is what he's referring to.
Okay, no problem.
Because that's what I was just talking about. If I'm wrong, Surf for 4, go ahead and post.
Yes.
By the way, I just got a text from my buddy Scott.
Yeah.
He says, nice jacket. You jealous bastard. One of us looks better in this coat, I know.
I said to Mike this morning, he looks very baseball to me. That's the one with the stick, right? and Jack right. Says, you don't want an EMP, it may destroy your digital currencies. I wouldn't be near my digital currencies, would I, if I pressed the button? God, no, that would be awful. Server 4 gives a thumbs up, and his house. That's the comment. Right, I still haven't got to any news yet. That's great. Right, are we ready to move on from this or not, people? What do we think?
We can move on. I got a private message from KH over on Twitter, and she says that the sealed indictments are already going on against a massive New Jersey child porn bust. And she sent me the article. I'm going to check that out. I haven't read it yet, so I'm not going to get into it right now. But you know what? Good. You
know where that takes us? To the tweet that I did yesterday, doesn't it? To You Are Free TV.
Right.
Fill us in, Mike. What happened there?
You had sent out this tweet with this video. This lady's talking about ties with Mike Pence, the vice president, being tied to the whole Pizzagate pedo ring thing. And I honestly, I didn't really look at it first, and I called Rhea, and she was, as she would say, quite cross with me over it. And she demanded that I go back and properly go over the tweet, which I did. Well, I watched 3/4 of it anyway. And I think, honestly, she's getting off on a jag. I really do. I think it could be poisoning the well, throwing in, this is a new revelation when it comes to Mike Pence. I don't think so. And I'll tell you why. There was a reason why Mike Pence was picked for the position of the vice presidency. And he has an extremely clean track record. I don't think that Trump picked him because he was his buddy. I think that this was part of the plan from the beginning, and Pence was aware of it possibly up to even 3 years before it even happened. That's what I think. What are your thoughts, Rhea?
I don't know, sweetie. I've got a frozen camera again. What do I think? I think it needs answering. I've reached out to her. I've had one response. She'd said she'd get back to me, but I don't know where the land lies. So I'm going to stay neutral on it to find out more, basically, and hear from what she has to say. So I just want to stay neutral. There's some big accusations in there. If anybody caught it, it caught the attention of someone else on Twitter. They retweeted it out to some people with some pretty big followings. So we'll see what happens with it. But I'd love to get her on the show. So if you are watching this, I realise my video is frozen. Let's see if I can unfreeze it. But I would love to get you on the show. Would just be fantastic. So we'll have to see how it pans out, as it were. I'm losing control of Skype here really quickly, but we'll have to manage with what. Oh no, it's really gone wrong. Hold it a second, guys. I'm gonna have to oh no, we can go back there. Look. Oh,
I can still hear you.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get this back. Yeah, my video camera's all gone terribly wrong.
Hey, stay in your own square.
Yeah, I know. I can't. Oh yeah, look, my camera's down. So what do I do with that? Best way to do that. Don't really know what to do with that. We've only got half of Mike. Right, guys, I'm gonna hang up on Mike and I'm gonna call him back and see where we go. Mike, I'm just gonna hang up and call you back, okay? This is live, guys. So I've just hung up. We'll see how it goes. See if it straightens out the camera situation. Mine's still frozen. Oh, it's really gone wrong. Let me just call him back, if you don't mind. Let's see how we do. I was going to make this awful noise. Yeah, the camera isn't working, look. I've got you full screen, which is better than nothing, but my camera seems to have not be working, so we'll have to manage with what we've got, but that's better than what it was. Let me just move the screen about a little bit so we can get... So I can do this. This is going horribly wrong. A second. No. And right, here we go. So I'm going to move on to a story. I'm keen to see how the Steve Bannon thing plays out, to be honest. I think it's an update coming in on my computer to do with the processor problem. Right, but we've got Mike. That's the main thing. Right, I'm going to move on to another story. We're ready for that. Ready for another story, Mike?
Yes.
Okay, so here we go. Here's a statement coming out. Nobody is stealing your jobs. You spend too much on wars. Alibaba founder tells US. This was published yesterday. Maybe the reason the US is in spiraling debt is because the US government has been spending money on all the wrong places, brackets including war. Jack Ma, founder of Alibaba.com and one of the richest men in the world, believes this is the case. Over the past 30 years, the American government, I put government in there, had 13 wars, spending $40.2 trillion, said Ma, speaking at the World Economic Forum at Davos. Boo. What if they spend part of that money on building up their infrastructure, helping the white collar and blue collar workers? No matter how strategic good the idea may seem, you're supposed to spend money on your own people. What do you think, Mike?
I think there's nothing more hypocritical than a Chinaman lecturing the United States on spending more money on its own people.
That's a really good point, isn't it?
Just saying.
Yeah, no, I don't have a problem with it. Let me just pick up a comment. Surfer 4 unplug and replug cam. Yeah, I think we'll just have to manage, guys. It's just a live thing. I think an update's going in. I'm looking up in the top right and I'm seeing it all download and stuff like that. And maybe it'll come back online. We'll have to see. But we've got Mike and I'm not frozen in a really bad position, but you can still hear me. But it's live, right? And it's doing a lot this end. This is the first time this has happened. Right, I'm going to play the accent again, see what you guys think. And where is this guy from?
I call that a buggy. Some people may call it a shopping cart, but very few around here do. It's a buggy. The people that normally call it a shopping cart are from off somewhere. They ain't from here originally. But I'm going to go on ahead and post this on there now, and I hope y'all give me your feedback on, I guess on my accent.
I love that accent. I think that's absolutely splendid. Oh, we've got Tennessee. Have we already got a Tennessee? No, we haven't got a Tennessee. Tennessee. I'm just writing it down because you can't see me. So far we've got Kentucky times 2, East Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Alabama, and what was it? Tennessee. I can't even read that. Let me write that again. Tennessee. Okay, and we've got another one.
Geraldo says North Carolina, deep in the hills. Yeah, Kay, I worked in North Carolina for about 6 months. I loved it there. And I actually met people that did talk like that. There was this one guy that lived in a bar. His name was Tater, and Tater slept on the pool table at Dino's bar. And I was talking to another guy about Tater. His name was Cupcake, and Cupcake was explaining to me how Tater's a nice guy, but you gotta watch because, Tater's sticky. So,
how can you not
Tater
like
will
that
stick
accent?
ya.
I love it. I love it. I would love to go and hang out in a bar with people that spoke like that. I would really be into that. Get some booze flowing, as it were, or how I would say, have a drink.
If you were hanging out in a bar with people talk like that, there would be no communication whatsoever. It'd be like two different planets
Why?
colliding.
Would they not speak to me?
Because
then?
you're so proper. That's why.
I think that's rude to judge someone like that. They should give me a chance to mingle.
What? I'm not them. I'm not the rude one here.
Oh, right, we've got a Georgia as well. Georgia.
Arkansas.
Georgia, yeah, I got Arkansas. That's good. God, we're rocking it today, guys. We've got Kentucky times 2, East Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Alabama, Tennessee, Arkansas. That's a great name. North Carolina and Georgia. So loads coming in today. What a lovely accent that is. Right, we're ready to move on to another story. Or have you got anything, Mike?
Yes.
I'm sorry about my video.
I actually got a couple of text messages here. Hugh says the Patriot Act was written in 1995. Oh, yeah, there's no way that they just slapped the Patriot Act together right after 9/11. It was like 50 phone books. The legislation was like this tall in paper. I also got a message from Gloria in Alberta.
Hi,
I bet
Gloria.
she's beautiful, by the way. And she says, talking about when we were talking about how they built their own gallows, she said, it reminds me of the story of Esther in the Old Testament where Haman built his own gallows that him and his sons were hung on. And it's funny, Gloria, I actually thought the exact same thing, and that is why I made the analogy. So me and you must have some kind of a weird bond. Isn't that crazy? K. Geraldo says they can imitate Canadian accents funny as hell when they said it's y'all with the accent not used then proceed to talk normal. I like the word y'all.
Yeah,
y'all
I do as
should
well.
say it more often. It's that y'all's a word.
Yeah,
What do y'all think?
well, I'm not going to have a go at it myself, but I'm into it. I like it, and I think it's friendly and palatable and all those things. So I don't have a problem. I love all the accents, all the different. You guys speak differently, and I love it. That's all I can say. I've got friends on the East Coast, West Coast. So I'm now starting to get friends in Canada. I would like to think that people would be cool if I went to where this guy is with this accent, wherever that is. And people would be, just, I don't know, open to a smile. I don't know. I can usually get people to talk with a smile, and I've been to many countries. Anyway, we're going to move on to another story, unless you've got one, Mike.
No, go ahead.
Okay, quick one. This is a real quick one on the cryptos. Cryptocurrency market cap, it hits an all-time high of 770 billion. Bearing in mind it was only 50 billion 12 months ago. I'm going to take thank you for your kind comment, Jack. That is very kind of you to say, and I guess that's the main thing. I could do my audio book voice, I guess. Now you can't see me. We've got Alabama. We've already got Alabama. We've got Alabama times 2 then. Okay, on the Alabama. Right, moving on to another one. Right, here's a quick one about social media. Facebook declines to say why it deletes certain political accounts but not others. Source The Guardian. This was published yesterday. Facebook is declining to say why it appears to be picking and choosing political leaders to censor at request of the US government after it deleted the social media account of Chechnyan leader Ramzan Kadyrov. The Silicon Valley technology company deleted Kadyrov's Instagram and Facebook profile after the United States imposed travel and economic sanctions on him over allegations of human rights issues. The legal obligation did not appear to extend to other key individuals on the US sanctions list, including Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro, Syria's Bashar al-Assad, and Guatemala's Congressman Julio Antonio Juarez. Facebook declined to explain why. So they're doing a Big Brother, Mike. What do you think about that?
Well, I'll tell you why, because they're a bunch of pinko commies and they think that they should be able to police people's thoughts and opinions. And that's never been a secret to anybody that knows anything about Jeff Zuckerberg or Zuckerberg. But listen, Facebook's kind of a big idiot factory anyways. I got off of it a long time ago because they wanted me to send them government ID in order to access my account. And I was like, that is not happening. Oh, by the way, we got another, Scott in Alberta says, South Carolina. Do we have South Carolina yet?
No, we've got North Carolina, and so now we've got South Carolina.
Now we've got both Carolinas. Okay.
Or Carolina.
So, yeah.
No, was that the song? Sorry.
Here's the thing, getting back to Facebook, I'm back on it, but I use my wife's account, and she's an admin on the American Huck Radio page and the Tactical Health page, so I don't post my personal thoughts on Facebook, really, except for, what I do on the Doghouse here, Tactical Health, Dr. Peter Glidden, American Huck Radio, Kevin J. Johnston, Facebook Live, which is actually getting quite a bit bigger. We had 3,000 people the other night when we were talking about QAnon with April Lejeune.
Wow.
We should see about getting April on this show. Would you like that?
Yeah, we're just about... God, it's one of those... I keep flicking over to the main screen, but look, I'm frozen. We're ready for guests. And one was for me to do some shows, see how it plays out, see if we can keep it on format and all that kind of stuff. And it has its, more stupid days and its more serious days. And this is a bit more of a serious one, but you've seen it go stupid, guys, right? So, and then it's the stability, which today we have a problem with stability. So I've started to reach out to quite a few people we're ready for guests, basically. The operation is set up here. I think this is a unique circumstance with stuff downloading. I've got some stuff going on because of this stupid processor thing from Intel. But okay, so it's a similar kind of take. Let me take High Night and Day. Perhaps Facebook are reluctant to admit they have left-wing influences among their ranks. That's not going to surprise anybody, is it? I don't think so. As Mike says, Cockerberg, which is quite hilarious. Have you got any private messages there, Mike, or shall I move on?
I actually got this, Scott in Alberta here. He sent me this explanation of differences in North American and UK pronunciations. Tell me, Ria, do you say vitamin or vitamin?
I say vitamin.
Aha, so this is right. Tell me this, do you say aluminum or aluminium?
We definitely say aluminium. Nobody in the UK says aluminum.
That's hilarious. No wonder you guys lost the war.
Did we though, Mr. Canada?
Did we though? That sounded pretty cagey.
Do you know what I mean? It's you guys that worship the Queen, don't you? Right, let's move on. So, right, okay, here's another one on the Intel. I tweeted out today, it's really weird not having a video. I tweeted out today that I spoke about the Intel processor problem, which is now a huge story everywhere. I went on a Geek Fest for the last couple of days to find out what's going on. If you're on a Mac, apparently the new High Sierra has already got the patch in it. and I picked up an article. I tweeted out what Snowden said about the problem. So if you pop onto my Twitter, you'll see the intel, you'll see the link to what Snowden said, and you'll see it firsthand. And there's the name of 2 processors in there that weren't affected. But AMD, and there's another one, aren't out the woods yet. So there's like loads of updates coming in. So I think this is what's happening to my computer right now. So on the Intel processor story, I found this astonishing coincidence. Intel's CEO liquidated all stock he was legally permitted to sell after learning of catastrophic processor flaw, published yesterday. 5 months after learning of the devastating Spectre meltdown and the meltdown bug, Intel CEO Brian Krzanowicz sold off more than $39 million worth of his Intel stock, all he was permitted to liquidate. An Intel spokesman says the timing was just a coincidence. Of course it was just a coincidence. Oh my God, who do they think people are? So they've known about this for 5 months now, and so we've just been left hanging, kind of thing. Phoebe Long says, I can't even say it, can I? You'll love to say y'all, and I think that's lovely. And KH says, a buddy.
Y'all got that right.
Yeah. Lovely. And a buddy, a bobby, and a brolly. Oh, okay, a brolly. Yeah, no, we do say brolly. Well, some people say brolly.
What's a brolly?
Do I say brolly? No, I say umbrella, if that's what you mean. But I've definitely heard people say brolly. Got any stories, Mike, or shall I move on?
You're doing great. Let's go with what you've got there.
Okay, we'll run the accent one more time. Let's have another little listen to the accent. Oh, guys, and don't forget to do a thumbs up and a like and a share and all those things if you like what's going on. The more we can grow the show. My personal feeling is I'm kind of happy with what's going on. You know, if we get too many people in the chat, we're going to miss stuff. And you guys are such a part of this. It's so important to me. And if I miss any messages, I apologise. And it may just look really awful and like we're missing them on purpose. We're definitely not. But the more followers we get, the bigger guests we can get on and talk to them and find out what's going on. And of course, because it's live, you guys get to ask them as well. So here's the accent and see where this dude is from.
I call that a buggy. Some people may call it a shopping cart, but very few around here do. It's a buggy. The people that normally call it a shopping cart are from off somewhere. They ain't from here originally. But I'm gonna go on ahead and post this on there now, and I hope y'all give me your feedback on well, I guess on my accent.
Right, there you go. So put it in the chat, guys. See what's going on. I'll move on to another story. Story from Dubai, and I have a friend in Dubai, a pilot. Dubai takes a step back into the internet dark ages with Skype ban. There's two telecoms companies, providers of telecoms communications within the UAE have blocked the use of Skype and other VoIP software. Users report that pretty much all VoIP technology has been blocked, including Discord, TeamSpeak, Facebook, Messenger, Snapchat, and WhatsApp. So they're kind of taking a step back kind of thing. I might switch my camera off actually, because that's just pretty bad, isn't it? Let me switch my camera off. Camera off, and camera off.
You look fine, Ria.
No, it's just putting me off because I see what everybody else sees rather than just your beautiful self, Mike. Any other stories, Mike, you want to take a look at?
Yes, I do. In fact, this is hot off the presses. This just came up on Drudge Report. I love it. The author of the explosive new book about Donald Trump's presidency acknowledged in an author's note that he wasn't certain all of the content was true.
No, that can't be real.
That just came up. That's on businessinsider.com. You can see the link over at drudgereport.com. Michael Wolff, the author of Fire and Fury Inside the Trump White House, included a note at the start that cast significant doubt on the reliability of the specifics contained in the rest of its pages. Several of his sources, he says, were definitely lying to him, while some offered accounts that flatly contradicted those of others.
That is outrageous, isn't it? That is comically bad.
Anybody that bought this book, you are a grade A sucker.
You have been had, I've got to say. I can't switch camera off anyway, so it's not going to make any difference. So it's just going to be a really bitty thing. How awful. Right, so we've got Kansas as well. Did we have Kansas? No, we didn't have Kansas, amazingly enough.
No, I just got Georgia from Scott, too, in Alberta here.
Yeah, we got 2 times Georgia as well.
Okay.
So, what else we got? Right, so am I out of stories yet? Just one quick one. We're coming up on time if you haven't got any. I want to hear about, I asked this the other day, about bad actors in the Iranian protests. What's your take on the Iranian protests, Mike?
There's several different schools of thought on that. There are people claiming that this is another color revolution led by Western intelligence agencies. And there are people saying that this is a Soros-led color revolution like we saw in the Ukraine and several other countries, ex-Soviet bloc countries. Here are my thoughts. I think this is real. I think that Iranian kids were coming over to the United States and Canada and Britain and going to school and getting a taste of the good life and freedom. And, getting to run around without a hijab, wearing their blue jeans and listening to whatever music they want and, being able to kiss somebody in public without getting horsewhipped. They went back to Iran. They started telling other people. At the same time, people in Iran have smartphones. They have access to the internet. They want freedom. They are tired of Islamic clerics telling them how they have to live their life. Interestingly enough, the police the other day just said that they were going to stop arresting women for not covering their head under the Islamic hadith of keeping a woman covered. So, yeah, absolutely. So I think that this is generic, and I completely stand with the people of Iran that want to have the good life, and they're not just calling for the ousting of the Ayatollah. They're calling for his death. Now, I think that this would be a great time for Western intelligence services to go in and arm them. Go in and arm them and give them food. Help them overthrow that crappy little dictatorship that they've got going in Iran. Get rid of it.
I don't think
Iran's got so many natural resources. They could be so wealthy, but they've been kept down by these idiot clerics. And, freedom. And this just lends to the overall toppling of Islam worldwide. Islam was, I think, at a tipping point where it was either going to go global or it was going to completely collapse under its own weight. And I'm pleased to say that I think this is a collapsing under its own weight. People love freedom. People want liberty. We are designed in the image of our Creator, and we are made to be free. So I think that this is going to happen. Sorry, Ria, go ahead.
No, it's fine, darling. It's good to listen to you. I think there's some foreign actors in there. I would love to think it's a natural, organic state of affairs. I think there's a few dark ops in there. Or I certainly would be surprised if there wasn't a few dark ops in there. So that's about it. Right, Squealy, we're coming up on time. And we've got the problems anyway with the video and all that kind of stuff. Any stories you want to cover before we start to close out, Mike?
No, we can close up. And, listen, I just got another text here. Scott in Alberta says, my uncle who married my aunt, his name is Hamid, and he's Iranian, and I have to say he's probably the nicest person I've ever met. Yeah, I agree, Scott. I've met Iranians that I just thought they were great people. I was working at a company called Trican, and one of their drivers there, I got talking with him. As soon as I find out that somebody's from another country, or if I perceive that they are, I immediately start asking them questions about it because I'm fascinated by hearing what they have to say about that country as opposed to what I've been spoon-fed by popular media and popular culture.
Totally.
This man was from Iran, and he told me that when he was a kid, just in junior high school, a man walked into the room and said, you, and you, come with me. Boom. He was in the army. And it was 5 months before he could even call his parents and let them know what had happened. I'm sure that they knew what happened, but he said that he was fighting during the Iran-Iraq war when Iran was fighting with Saddam Hussein, and Saddam Hussein was gassing the Kurds. And he said that that war, nobody had a clue what it was about at the time. All they knew was they got out of a troop transport and there was bullets flying past their head. That was it. So at that point, you shoot back. The politics don't matter. That's all I have to say on the subject. I know we got to close it down, so let's wrap things up with the location of the accent.
Okay, let me just take a couple of comments here.
Yeah.
Now, my computer's gone off. Hold it a second. I'm pleased to say that your live viewing figures are the highest I've seen since you've started the Doghouse. Thank you, night and day. Eric Young says Kansas. Corrado, loving the Iranian woman and millennials right now. Nice. KH, Iranian, agree with Mike. They've had enough, basically, of the dictatorship and all the ugly stuff that goes with it. Yeah, right. You got to take a stand at some point, right? I'm going to play the accent one more time, see if anything else comes in, and see what's going on.
I call that a buggy. Some people may call it a shopping cart, but very few around here do. It's a buggy. The people that normally call it a shopping cart are from off somewhere. They ain't from here originally. But I'm going to go on ahead and post this on there now, and I hope y'all give me your feedback on, well, I guess on my accent.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Right, guys, we have the last shouts in. I've done that. Right, Mike, what have you got for the Doghouse?
For the Doghouse, I would have to say the author of this new book, Michael Wolff. You're in the Doghouse, buddy. By the way, I just got a text from our buddy Hugh Jass.
Hugh.
He says, this hour goes by too fast. Hugh's loving the Doghouse. Help us spread the word about the Doghouse, Hugh. It's only going to get better from here on out. I want a big shout out to Dean Blackman. You are the black man.
He is the man. He's going to be gracing, I think. I don't know yet. It's all still being worked out. He's going to be making an appearance somewhere. I don't know if he's going to be on with Mike and I. I might do a Monday slot with him. Don't know. We're still feeling things out. So if you're watching, Dean, it was a great conversation that we had yesterday. And the idea was with the Doghouse that we have different people on co-hosting. Mike's super busy. Mike's got Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays locked in. And I love it, and I love him for doing it with me and everything, and you guys turning up. But there's going to be some other people turning up on the Monday, the Tuesdays, and the Thursdays and stuff, which will be a bit shocking, I know, because we're getting used to this. But the whole idea is to grow our group, and all you lovely guys that do the messaging and everything, is to affiliate. Right, whilst I'm with you, that guy that wrote the book, and it's all over English media, my thing for the Doghouse is totally off topic today. But mums and dads, I'm sure you'll probably get this, mine is kids' homework. I think they should stop giving kids homework to take home. Homework, you're in the Doghouse. So get lost and let families have their own time to bond, and the kids can play and become rounded human beings rather than oppressed by your indoctrined left-wing views. Don't get me going. Right, anyway, so that's my thing for the Doghouse. What else have I got? Have I got anything? I've got some shout-outs to do, guys. Don't forget, I love you all. I wish I had all your messages all the way through. That's the one thing about Facebook, it gathers all the messages. If you're watching on Facebook, we can't see your messages, but with Mike's now monitoring them to see if anything that contributes to the conversation turns up, as there's a lot of international stuff going on there. I want to do
not just a whole lot of people with names that I can't pronounce, and Jane Gruber over at Facebook. So all of you international watchers, hola Salima.
Right, and that reminds me, we was going to talk about Jane's situation, wasn't we? And maybe try and help?
Yeah, well, over at kjjradio.com, all the Patriots that, the thousands of people that watch me and Kevin every morning, have now gotten together and decided that they want to start a GoFundMe page for Jane. She's having a hard time living out of a car, and a lot of people just feel very bad for her and want to help her out. So everybody, if you want to keep an eye on the Kevin J. Johnston Facebook page, that GoFundMe page will be listed there in the near future. And I hope you do well, Jane. I really do.
Yeah, so we're thinking of you, Jane. Now's the time for the community to come together and help somebody out who needs helping out, right? And it would be lovely to see, and I think it will be a coming together of people. And, it doesn't, maybe we can't afford much, but we can afford something for someone who's part of our lovely group and spreading the word and all that kind of stuff. So we need to give some love and a bit of cash to Jane, because she's living in a car. And just imagine what that's like in cold weather. That is not a fun thing. So my heart goes out to you, and I think I speak for everybody in the chat. We're going to try and do something about it. So if you're watching this, whenever, whether you're live or recorded, just bear that in mind, what it's like to live in a car or something in the cold weather. I'm certainly going to be putting in, because that's the least I can do to help out. And yeah, that's an important thing, and I want.
It doesn't have to be a lot, even if it was $5. If you had, 100 people putting in $500, that might get her out. $5 that might get her out of her car.
Yeah, totally.
Or keep her alive, keep her eating some hot meals.
And it's about her knowing as well there's some love and support. Ultimately, it's about cash will bring warmth, but some love and support, and that people do care. I could really poke the bear by saying how come she's in a car and we've got X, Y, and Z going on, but we've run out of showtime, right, as we usually do. You guys, I'm going to do some shout outs. I want to do a shout out for American Hook Radio today, 2 till 4 Central Time. Mike's now got an AM slot, his first normal radio slot, and I'm looking forward to that develop, because I'm sure there'll be more to come. And it's about us all getting... Yeah, right. So rock on, Mike. I think that's absolutely brilliant news. I'll try and tune in my car. If I get it, I'll let you know. That kind of thing. I
don't know if the AM signal will carry from Utah to the UK, but if it does, that would be very impressive. So
right. So it's all about affiliating, and this is why I set the back end up of the show, so we can spread the word and this lovely Doghouse group, because we're in it all the time, right? I know I am anyway. Another shout out is check out my tweet on the Intel processor. That's a must read thing, because we now know that just about every computer has been breached. It's now out. The hackers know it. Everybody knows it. And the long and the short, in case you don't get to that read up from Edward Snowden, is Snowden said, when you get a security thing come in to say update your computer, press yes. So that's his word on it. So whatever that counts for. And my website shout out today is a predictable but a solid Zero Hedge. I use it daily. If you don't know it, check out Zero Hedge. I think everybody in this chat room knows Zero Hedge. So that's it. And I want to say all the people that are in the chat, Eric Young, KH, Gary Kemper, Surfer 4, Night and Day, Jane Gruber, Huge Arse, Jack, of course. I'm looking forward to the latest video. Can you think of anybody else I haven't mentioned, Mike?
Scott and Gloria in Alberta.
Hey, Scott and Gloria in Alberta. Love and peace, If there's anybody else, come on, drop us a message in now. I want to be able to say you all. Because every time I finish a show, I worry that I've missed somebody's message and you've been kind enough to contribute, and that bothers me. And I don't want to be bothered by that. So if I haven't mentioned you, and Calvin, Cat Cubes as well, Eric Night and Day. I'll tell you what else I'd like to go before. Are you in a rush, Mike, or not?
No, I'm not in a rush.
I'd like to know, would you guys roughly put your ages in? How old? I'd love to know, like, a cross section of your ages so we know the demographic of the audience. If you don't want to do it, don't do it, right? But if you want to put it in, put it in. Eric Young, much love. Oh, bless you. Did you hear that the local council in Windsor, England, have asked the police to clear all the homeless people out of the area by the royal wedding? I wonder if they're going to go to robots. That's amazing. Right, I guess I need to go to close out. I've asked a bit much. Gary Kemper, 56. That's why you know loads of stuff then, right? Okay, yeah, respect to that. Nice one, Gary. Thank you for putting that in. I guess I probably need to wind that up. But I love y'all. No, that's not how you use y'all, is it? Is that how you use y'all?
Y'all can say that, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's not working, is it? Hey, Kelly's 53. Yeah, it's kind of good. Eric Young, 46. We're definitely getting a bit of a demographic here. See what I mean? If you're younger and you're watching this on record or anything like that, the people of our age group, they kind of know stuff. So it's worth checking out. Surfer 454. How interesting. I don't know that. You could be anybody from anywhere that I speak to and love you anyway. Right, all right. I better close this out, hadn't I? Because I'm just rabbiting on now, and I've still got an icky camera as well. Sorry about the live stuff. Guys, anything else? Don't forget to do a thumbs up. Although I would just like to keep us lot in the chat room, we need to grow it a bit more so we can get the bigger guests on. I came this close to getting John McCarthy, this close, but I just need to grow it a bit more before we get those bigger ones on and stuff like that. Right, I'm going to play you out. Love and peace from me, Ria Bo. I like that too, Surfer 4. And we're going to see you next Wednesday, 12 midday EST. And until then, love and peace always. Bye-bye, guys.
Whoa. We didn't give what was the accent?
Whoa. Okay, sorry. The accent is... No one said it. Mississippi.
Mississippi.
No one said we had... Sorry, guys. Kentucky, East Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Alabama, Tennessee, Alaska, North South Carolina, Georgia, and Kansas. Did anybody say Mississippi? They didn't say Mississippi.
No, I don't think there was, no.
He's from Mississippi. Rhea, aren't you a bit young for this crowd? No, I respect my elders, let me tell you. Right, I've got to go, guys. We'll see you next Wednesday, right? Love and peace always, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye for now.
She's off to Malaysia to get her ring.